Welcome to His Grocery Science. My name is Maureen, and I am so glad that you're here. And today I'm going to be bringing you two projects that are perfect for either spring or Mother's Day. So let's take a look. These are some of the materials that I'll be using, but to begin with, we're going to get started with one of the napkins. And napkins are usually made out of 2 or 3 plies, depending how strong they are. In this instance, we're only going to be keeping the graphic part, the top part of the napkin. And I'm going to be gluing this napkin onto a 5x7 oval wooden plank. And as you could see, I'm cutting it to size, and I'm going to be spreading some Mod Podge onto the oval. Now I want to share with you a gluing technique that is new to me. It consists of adding the glue to your surface, and in addition, you're going to be wetting the napkin that you're going to be attaching onto your surface. But no worries, I'm going to be explaining it in a lot more details in the second project. Now for now, you see me using my fingers, gently pressing it down, and you're going to see me spreading it with water, just a little bit more, and just to smooth it out and remove any wrinkles. It is an incredible technique. Now I'm going to continue using my fingers to remove all the wrinkles out, and it truly does remove all the wrinkles. You have no idea. Then I'm going to be using my sanding block to remove the excess napkin around the oval. However, I do recommend you drying it out prior to sanding it out. If this is the first time you're seeing this technique, let me know in the comments. Also, if you have already tried this technique and you're loving it or don't like it, do let me know. Want to see what your thoughts are. Now, remember I told you I was going to show you once again. Well, this is the second project, and it's also an oval that we're going to be covering, also with a napkin. Once again, I'm going to be using a 5x7 wooden oval, and I will be spreading it with Mod Podge. And here you see me spraying the top part of my napkin with water. And I will be very gently positioning it on top of my already glued surface. And as I'm gently laying my napkin, I am using my fingers to remove or get rid of any of the wrinkles that it may appear onto my surface. Once again, I am really loving this wet on wet surface. It may not be for everything, for every project, it may not be for everyone, but as little surfaces like this, I am really loving it. As you could see, I'm able to lift up just a little bit and really truly remove all wrinkles. It's incredible. I'm going to show you really close up so that you could see that it really doesn't have any wrinkles. You'll take a look. And once again, let me know in the comments your thoughts about this technique. And if you're liking this project thus far, do leave me a thumbs up. I so appreciate it. And now I'm going to be using my heating tool to dry up the surface of this plaque. And I probably forgot to mention about I did purchase this napkin set at HomeGoods. Now I'm going to continue the process by removing the excess napkin using my sanding block. And if this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. I also want to let you know that you can find me on Facebook 3 to 4 times a week live, doing some live crafting. And you could also find lots of my pictures of my work on Instagram under His Grocery Science. And you will find the links to both in the description below. And as we continue with this project, I went ahead and took my ink pad and distressed both ovals. And now I'm going to be taking 2 strips of muslin fabric that are about 3/4 of a yard long and 2.5 inches wide. I am also taking some needle and white thread, and I'm going to be running a running stitch on the edge of this muslin strip of fabric. And with this running stitch, all I'm going to do is just pierce the fabric with the needle, and I am going to with this in and out motion or up and down motion. And by doing this, I am creating some pleats in the fabric, and now I'm ready to pull that fabric over to the string, as you could see, and all it creates is just a ruffle. And once my fabric is completely ruffled, I'm going to be taking both ends of the string of the thread, and I'm going to be knotting it. And now that I have created a loop with my thread, I'm going to be spreading the fabric all around, thus creating a flower. And since I was working with 2 strips of fabric, I'm going to be separating them so that it could give me more of a voluminous look to my flower. Now, to make the flower a little bit more interesting, I'm going to be taking another type of fabric, and this one is going to have a little bit more of a print to it, and I'm going to create a 3x3 square for this piece of fabric. And just ripping it gives it more of a distressed look, so I'm going for that. And now I'm going to be folding this square in half, but I am going to be folding it to create a triangle. So we'll be folding it in half, diagonally in half again, and then 1/3 time. Now I'm going to be getting my scissors and I'm going to be rounding off my edges just so that I could create a cute little flower. Now onto the center of my flower, I'm going to add just a little dot of glue and I'm going to be gathering my flower just so that I could be able to create some pleats or raffles on my flower. Now I'm going to be gluing this smaller flower on top of this bigger flower and I'm going to be finishing it up by adding a flower brooch. Now this is going to be the flower for one of the oval plaques. We're going to be quickly working on the second flower. And now for this second flower, I'm going to be using a 2-inch wide wired ribbon that I purchased, I believe it was at Joann's. And once again, I'm going to be cutting a total of 3/4 of a yard of this ribbon. And I will be creating a 1-inch accordion fold throughout the entire length of this ribbon. And once I have it folded and gathered, I am going to use my scissors and I'm going to take one side, top or bottom of the ribbon, and I'm going to be creating some type of a scallop look or a scalloped edge to this ribbon. I'm going to be cutting pieces at a time because it's a lot of ribbon to cut. So I'm going to take pieces at a time and to create a nice scalloped look to this to the edge of this ribbon. And that is because I didn't have a ribbon that looked like this and I really wanted to end up looking like flower petals. And now on the side of the ribbon that still has the remaining wire, I am going to be pulling out that wire. Now, we're not going to be pulling it all the way. We're going to just be gathering and creating some type of raffled look to this ribbon. Just be very careful to hold the wire on the other side as well. You do not want to pull the wire all the way. You want to be able to maintain your ribbon on the wire that it has already attached. And now I'm going to be twisting the wire into the end of my ribbon just to help it keep it in place. And now I'm going to be using this scalloped edge raffled ribbon and I'm going to be spinning it around and using some hot glue to hold it in place as I spin it and create a spiral look to this ribbon. And this may be easier to watch than to explain it with words. So I'm going to let you see what I'm making. And now I've spun it around about 2 or 3 times. And now I'm ready to just cut whatever remaining ribbon. So, and all we're left to do is just use some hot glue to keep it all in place. And last but certainly not least, we're going to adorn the center with a beautiful brooch. And now take a look at this beautiful flower that we have created with this scalloped ribbon. The brooch that I'm using, I purchased it at Joann's fabric stores. And now here we have both flowers. Now I have decided to finish up these flowers by making some leaves using some scrapbooking paper. I am folding my paper to create 4 layers out of it, and that way I only have to cut 1 leaf instead of 4. To give some movement to my leaves, I decided to just fold them in half, and I'm going to be at a 45-degree angle, folding it back and forth as if it was an accordion at a 45-degree angle. And once I open them, I'm going to be able to see all the creases on the leaves. And now we're ready to attach everything to our plaques. I'm going to be starting with some ribbon on the bottom, sandwich it up with some, adding a little bit of fabric just to hold the fabric up, lifting it up a little bit more off of the surface of the plaque. I want to thank you so much for getting towards the end of this project. I hope that you have enjoyed this project, and if you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my free channel here for lots of inspirational crafting ideas for decorating. One of the things I did forget to record was that I added a little tag that says, "I love you, Mom," to this little plaque. I completely forgot to record it, but you will see it at the very end of the project, making this little project perfect to give as a Mother's Day gift. And now for this second plaque, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just adding some ribbon, some torn up strip of fabric here, just to create more of an interest or a little surface for a flower to be glued upon. I can't wait to show you this finished project. Thank you so much for coming here and spending this time with me creating. I hope you enjoy yourself, and if you do, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and of course by subscribing to this channel, and of course you could leave me a message. I look forward to creating with you once again. Have a good rest of your day. Adios. Please check out my other videos for lots more inspirational ideas.